Actually.
Yeah, oh, what a throwback.
This is awesome.
And we have the Azir and the Skarner for GENG. So, you know, stable pick for Chovy. I also think when you are going into a Vi, having a backline carry who a little bit difficult to deal with, you know, obviously the Emperor's Divide can create some space. You have a bit of mobility as well. Nico coming in, so Fly already pretty heavily investing into engage tools. I feel like a pick like a Xayah for Ruler could be higher prio as a result.
I mean, alternatively, also for the Talia in lane against Chovy here, I mean, that's just easy, right?
Yeah,
really good mid-jungle pairing and a good lane itself.
Yeah, and GENG immediately locking that Bard. So prioritizing that, wanting to have a range versus range matchup. The Tempered Fate could be used defensively against the Vile, give some roaming power over Duro. I would imagine, you know, often we've seen when you have like this more dive-focused, aggressive picks like the Vi, like the Nico, you look to take away things like, you know, Ezreal ban, a Xayah ban can be really effective. So that's what I'd be looking at from FlyQuest here. GENG, they take with the Kai'Sa and Nico are really strong pairing, so we might just get a lot of 80 carry bans coming through on this rotation.
Let's see if Ezreal's one of those that gets taken away, because if I see a lot of dive and a lot of things like Bard, Azir as well, something that's a bit more versatile and mobile as an 80 carry rises to mind. Kai'Sa part of the dive that they're going to take away from FlyQuest, and when it is Masu, I feel like that is a good call. Sivir also scaling element to pair up with the Azir is taken from GENG.
Yeah, I mean, Sivir, definitely a good pick for Ruler. I do feel like because you think, you know, into Vi, you can spell shield the ult, but you can often smite on the way.
Oh yeah, and then you can't do anything.
And then it's kind of like a bit of a bait, but, you know, Ruler's obviously very good in the pick, so get rid of that one. I wonder if they do just go, I think Ezreal, Bard, such a strong pairing, so might have to get rid of that one. We'll see if they go in that direction.
Jin gone. I mean, as you said, it's just going to be 80 carry galore on these bans as well, but for GENG, I like that you pull up the Ezreal as well. That still sits on mind. 5 seconds, FlyQuest, the priority ban. Ezreal needs to go. Ornn instead.
Yeah, go in that direction. Obviously, Keen really competent on tanks. Not want to have too much of a solid frontline, I guess. I feel like here, though, for GENG, I mean, I've said they should have banned it. I think they could just go for the Ezreal Bard, had that long range safety. Instead, looking towards the Corki potentially, wanting to have something that has a bit of power on the lane.
A lot of people not liking Corki at the moment.
Yeah, we saw Sven play it earlier this week to not so great success.
Yeah.
And, you know, your escape tool, it doesn't work into the Unraveled Earth compared to Ezreal, who obviously has that Arcane Shift.
It's a Blink, yeah. Blink versus Travel over the rocks.
Yeah, obviously GENG, a lot of confidence in Ruler on this pick, but, you know, it does mean that FlyQuest, actually looking at the Ezreal themselves, does have similar spikes to the Corki in terms of item build. You go in a similar direction.
Does that feel like a crime that FlyQuest got this?
I mean, I think the Ezreal, them having the Ezreal isn't that big of a deal, but it just feels like, you know, I mentioned it, it was something I thought GENG would prioritize themselves. Yeah. And now, figuring out what they're going to put in the top lane, it is going to be blind. I feel like Keen often has just lent towards tanks a fair amount recently. Although, definitely a player who's competent on a lot of carries. Would you just see the Rumble? Could go the Aurora.
Yeah.
Definitely something he's been keen on.
Great call out.
It is a composition that's quite heavy in AP damage. It's only the Corki who's AD here, though, so we'll see if that influences, because the picks that we often see into Rumble, like Galio and Aurora, are AP, and that might make your damage profile a little bit too AP heavy.
They care, though.
But it looks like they're still happy to go with the Aurora, so yeah, GENG, you know, very AP heavy damage profile, and that's the thing that's a little bit concerning, because, you know, if you target this Corki and you're able to take him out of the fight, you know, everyone across the board. I mean, obviously Skarner's not doing that much damage, but, you know, it just feels like the whole composition is quite AP heavy damage.
Do you think it matters as much because there's no hard tank on the side of FlyQuest? Because they're very skirmish, very heavy on dive, right?
It matters less, but there's still, you know, still bits of itemization that could come in that's gonna give a bit of magic, especially if you get like the feats of strength, you know, the boots that give the magic damage shield.
True.
They have a lot of value. So I think honestly FlyQuest could be pretty happy with some of the tools they got. Some of the engage, the Vi, Talia, really powerful. You have the Equalizer on top of that.
Yep.
I think they can be happy.
I mean, again, I think for FlyQuest, a comp that really relies on self getting going as well, and the fact that they've got all these tools to start fights, it's great for Fly. And again, what we experienced of them versus BLG at MSI, the power of Inspired, seeing Inspired on something like a Vi as well, The West knows best. And Inspired right now is the best Western jungler. We have people like El Yoya hanging around. Skewmon, yes and no, but I'm looking at Inspired solely when this guy was the reason, in my mind, that they got to a Game 5 versus BLG. Now in a best of 3 versus GENG, when a single elimination in a quarterfinal rather, that would lead to G2. FlyQuest's underdogs need to step up big. It's GENG versus Fly. It's our last quarterfinal of the EWC for 2025.
So many fans here out in support for GENG. Is their first match we've seen from them in a while, and expectations are sky high.
Winners of MSI return. And they'll be pushed to the brink as well from T1, but GENG still, when it matters, in the clutch. For the longest time, I felt like, you know, we talked about some curses on GENG internationally, but I think in the past couple of years, that's kind of been proven otherwise.
30 seconds until minions.
You know, winning 2 internationals will prove that otherwise.
It will prove otherwise, yeah.
Yeah.
But as even Arnold said on the desk, like, Juro's mega underrated. Oh my God, they got the mascot.
So cute.
Juro has been kind of crazy. You and I were talking about it, I think, on the way here, on the first day of Orcs. Like, Juro, the crazy Game 5 Pike, what he pulls out in a series, his confidence as a rookie player amongst people like Chovy, Canyon, Keenan Ruler. The plethora of skill on this roster as Inspired just gets bopped around a little bit. I saw a wide Blippo sign, mad respect. He's on Rumble though, let's hope he gets some wide ultis to back that up.
That's the thing with Duro is when he came into this roster, he'd been in the LCK for a very short amount of time.
Yep.
You know, he'd been on BNK Fear for a very brief period, and to come into a team like this, a roster like this, the expectation for me was that, okay, well, over the course of the year, hopefully we'll get to see Duro grow to the level of, you know, players before him like the Light and the Hens, and maybe by the time Worlds come around, he can be a top-level support. And that's not what happened because, you know, by the time we got to regular season LCK, he was putting in these amazing performances.
Yeah.
You know, and now he's an MSI champion, fully justified because he's just been in insane form. And, you know, Arnold completely said it right. He has just been putting in these masterful performances so quickly. Did take a heavy trade there.
Good one, Orcs.
Yeah, a bit of a cast of kiss. But yeah, I think Duro's confidence has been a big thing. And I think, you know, when you look at the names on this roster with him, it can be pretty daunting to step into a roster like this.
Yeah.
But he's just risen to the challenge. And it's been so exciting to watch his growth in such a short amount of time and watch what he can do, going up against such fantastic supports that we've had in the LCK and internationally.
He's had to grow individually in the roster alongside a veteran like Ruler. Matsu and Boosie have had to grow together, and they've stuck around. I love that FlyQuest have committed to this squad, and again, the same 5 players. You know, you can see their growth and development and why they're running NA right now. Now, Cloud9 be damned, they were out in the earlier stage. They didn't make it through 0-2, but FlyQuest did after the best of 1 against Furia. And Blippo, as he gets tanked out a little bit. We're seeing a little bit of the remnants of why this Aurora's picked into top lane, left side of your screen.
Well, there's something to be said because we've seen this matchup a couple of times before at this tournament. This is the most one-sided we've seen it so far. And it's still very early, but...
Oh! That's the flash. Q doesn't connect from Keen, but Blippo holds onto his flash. Maybe an advantage if Blippo can clear out this wave and get a quick recall.
I'm looking at the minimap, and Inspired is in the vicinity, so you know, no real position for Canyon. Yeah, does get spotted. No real way for Canyon to get in there to go for a dive, but Whippo is having a rough time right now, and Canyon does just go for drive-by through mid.
He doesn't care. Seismic Shot's going to catch him. Quad, though, doing some damage. Inspired, maybe now it matters. That ward, but Inspired has just used a Vault Breaker in. It's going to be in a short cooldown as look at top CS difference. With that push in as well, Whippo missed a little bit of it. Already a 200 gold lead at 4 minutes.
As I said, we've seen this matchup, and sure, we've seen the Aurora have prio. We've not seen the Rumble get bullied out this hard.
Not an EWC, no.
Whippo so low on HP.
He's probably just happy that, again, that flash was committed and no kill came out of it. Otherwise, Bippo would have been dead meat there with Q.
I think he's also very happy to see Canyon on the bot when he went on the bot side of the map, because when you're this low on HP, you got to be concerned about the dive coming through. Swap has come through, and that is some reprieve that Whippo desperately needed. So the wave also in a pretty good spot with that freeze coming in. Perfect timing. I think FlyQuest making a good move there to bail out their top laner.
And teleport down now as well. Whippo going to catch the end of that wave from Ruler, so that is a pretty chunky wave building up, which might get him back into this game. Keen opting to stay in this lane, but crucially not using his teleport means that this Aurora can shift up gears and then look to match after a push if he likes.
Yeah, it's still a deficit in the top lane, quite a significant one, but I think it's important that FlyQuest bot lane had Prio, was doing a good job there.
Yeah.
Because it really allowed them to have tempo for that swap and free up some space for their top lane. You see this wave is now actually bouncing back, built up a bit. Well, Keen did just thin it out a bit there. But it will push towards him slowly. We'll see if they look to try and stack it up and go for a dive. We do see Inspired is on the top side. It is quite hard to dive that Aurora, though.
Canyon on a ward while he starts Dragon, however, and that ward, even though it expires in the end, the Scuttlecrab being up, gives a bit of life to FlyQuest, and you can see now that Inspired's like, okay, Dragon is happening. Can I get anything towards the top side of the map? Control wall placed out as well. Krugs at the very least. Maybe a dive if they can chunk out Keen.
That's some good damage. Also using that.
Big
those
wave.
cooldowns, yeah, so they might look for it now.
Well, Keen, I might have to weird out. He gets the wave clear, but he's chunked down. Nice from Busio. A Tangle Bar for an instant first blood.
Yeah, Masu burned the weirding before that, so had that cooldown unavailable. Keen, I think he knew he was dead there, just went for the wave to get as much farm as possible. Now looking for Whippo on the bot side.
The response is if Whippo dies, he does not have TP. The wave not as thick as top, but it's still there with a cannon minion. Canyon wants to drive in. Ishtal's embrace will not be warm, it'll be fearsome, and eventually Whippo feels that the full throttle Duro perfectly tanks up, and a kill over to Ruler as well with that full wave denied. There is no recipient.
Yeah, I was a little bit concerned there because some of the health bars, not everyone was full, you know, the flash was available to Whippo, but as you said, perfect tank from Duro there. He was the one who got aggro and also made sure there was no damage to come in on him, so they managed to pull out the dive and equalize, and there is just going to end up being a trade of top laners taken down. Still a lot more farm in favor of Keen.
Yeah.
So there's a big advantage for him over his lane opponent.
Oh, wave went a bit further forward than they wanted. I think he wanted to de-aggro as the wave was coming in, but a bit close to the turret, 4 minions. We'll see if it's really enough. Ruler and Duro are going to match this 2v2 for now, though. And yeah, it does look like the wave's okay for now, but that's going to get pushed out by the bottom lane of GENG. And Orcs early game, it really just has been about that top CS margin. They are going to meet again, and the wave's getting pushed into Keen, so about a 20 CS lead you'll find shortly is still what's maintained.
Yeah, but you know, you see CS lead in the bot lane towards Masu, a little bit of one, but also Inspired is a pretty sizable lead in the jungle. So yeah, there's a lead in the top lane, but I think it's kind of balanced out overall. Gold lead actually in favor of FlyQuest right now.
Yeah, well said.
Was some time spent by Canyon taking that dragon, which did slow him down a little bit. Do you have Grubs coming up soon? It is GENG with bot lane Prio right now. So we'll see if they start to lean towards that. Inspired is just coming back onto the map. I say bot lane, I mean...
Top lane.
Top lane, yeah.
Bot lane in
the
top
bot
lane.
lane in the top lane.
Yeah, okay, we got it.
Australia lanes, which you know so well.
I am very fluent in them.
Yeah.
Apparently, not as well as I should be.
What do you call them then? Because you're from Australia, so they're just... You call them something different?
I call them life.
Oh.
That's just life, that's just normal. You know, it's hard living upside down. Blood rushes to your head, much like it would for GENGs. They take the grubs because the fire within from FlyQuest wants to contest, but it's going to be a late contest if anything. Teleport comes through from quad, but already the grubs will just be taken down. And for GENG this early game, again, brilliant. Although FlyQuest, yes, as you said, Orcs have individual leads through jungle and bot keeping up in CS. Triple grub, first dragon, nice objective starters. Whippo looking for the chase down. He's going to burn King for a little bit. Electro Harpoon #1, and as he overheats, his auto attack's out of range. King just going to hit him on the return.
They're getting some good trades in on Keen there. Has some magic resist built up and able to actually zone him out a little bit.
Inspired.
Still a lot better in the matchup. Yeah, looking for Canyon, maybe looking for the red buff. A little bit risky though. Duro over the wall and has vision, could just stun him.
Chovy can also walk in with everything up and available. This takes a steal, doesn't find it though, and Canyon just walks it out. Red buff for him. Inspired as he just disengages. And that does mean that he spent a lot of time here with not really much to show for it.
Yeah, this is kind of the payment for those grubs, right? So we saw the bot lane move with Canyon to take those. They had to go back to answer the waves, and they gave a window for FlyQuest to kind of move in, challenge Canyon, but Canyon's able to get the red, get out, so no real cost to it. Now the Bwipo, no flash, he's probably just dead.
Worlds, you're right, no escape path, and as he walks between, he's slowed to buggery. Canyon doing a drive-by, but this time he drives in. Bwipo burning down, close, but Keen will auto. Canyon takes a kill anyway from the red buff burn.
Yeah, I mean, no flash in that situation. The fact that Canyon can come over the wall, the ultimate from the Aurora with that huge slow. There was just no way to get out, so he ults the wave. Just a nice gang coming through from Canyon to put his top lane even further ahead.
I have to apologize, Orcs, because I forgot I wanted to do the Hanadu set for the start of the series. I totally forgot.
Shameful.
I'm here with an LCK caster, and I think, to me, it's still as good as this Gyro. But FlyQuest don't have one, so maybe that was for the better. Look, 30 seconds till Dragon. It's 2-second Dragon for GENG coming up real soon. It's a small gold lead again. That's really acclimatized itself because of top lane, now because of jungle catching up as well. Heart still picked up. Canyon has to go into a Sundered Sky, one of the most broken items in the game. I'm sure Orcs will agree. Let's see how much it does though at Dragon. Duro's going to TP first.
Yep, trying to get control of the area, and I think FlyQuest, you know, you missed out on the grubs, missed out on the first Dragon. Not a major gold lead, but a little one. I feel like you do want to start contesting these objectives sooner rather than later, but no real major item spikes yet, other than that Sundered Sky in the pocket of Inspired. See if they can find an angle, though, if they are going to look for this.
I don't think they are. This is a back from Masu.
Yeah, I think they're just giving it up.
Oh, barrier TP. No, barrier instead of the TP, I should say, but yeah.
Not actually back from Masu.
Oh my god. Riot, spectator, please fix.
You're getting tricked.
I am, again, just the usual with Nico, but regardless, your statement was right. There is no contest here. It's a second Dragon for GENG. FlyQuest is saying we're not ready to fight yet. I understand why. Oi, 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 Chovy. Just to be careful, there's a big wave coming out. Inspire just gets over the wall. They want to turn this into a dive.
It's just two of them for now. Chovy could clear the wave, maybe?
Teleport to defend. True Shot Barrage does damage. He ulties, flash away from Bwipo. Tempered Fate interrupts midway, and it is indeed, because Keen is sitting there waiting. The equalizer, not enough. Chovy at full stacks as well. Under Turret Busio is going to get his pop, but where's the damage? He thought he could take Chovy down with him, but he just runs in to die.
So well played there by GENG. The TP in to support. Looking for more,
and
though.
It's another one. Quad against the wall. He'll be impaled, skewered, and Ruler sets out the Gatling gun for his second kill. GENG are walking away with it.
They get so much on the back of that play. It's FlyQuest. They give it the Dragon. They're like, hey, we can make something happen on the other side of the map. Dura reads it perfectly, though. Keen's there to TP in. The ult saves Chovy, buys time, and the overcommit under tower costs them so...
Yoink! Good one, Matthew.
There's the consolation prize.
That's right. Make
Is it worth
it?
Not
no.
sure, but it's something
Not
at
when
least.
Chovy's doing this with 3 grubs.
Yeah. That's feats of strength as well for GENG. Pretty sizable lead now. And we'll see in this play. The problem is, Azir, full HP with all cooldowns, and there's only 2 of them there right now. You know, you see on the minimap more moving over.
Oh, wait, we're doing it again. Yeah, Bwipo just burned his flash in the last play, so this 2v1 is unmanageable. Another kill over to Keen. Let's find out. Canyon's just going to take it, but this top laner is not having a good day.
Yeah, it's going rough, and I feel like this is a problem as well. It's not just that the lane matchup was going rough, but it's so easy for Keen to set up plays onto the Rumble, and vice versa. It's so hard for them to really hold Keen accountable. It's such a slippery champ to play into. And it feels like Canyon's making so much happen on the map now. 2-0-2 in this game. And GENG 6 kills to 1, 3,000 gold lead with so many objectives in pocket. They're feeling great.
And Keen, as you said, is putting on the best Aurora matchup we've seen at EWC so far out of this pairing. Waiting for the Q pullback. Keen finds it low on mana. Double Ledger Harpoon, but Bwipo no longer has a slow. And his equalizer's not up and available. Keen might not have TP, so the best you can hope for here is that Bwipo gets a plate in response as FlyQuest are going to take that opportunity to start getting control in this topside jungle. Duro base checking as well, maybe an opportunity. Up with the Tangled Barbs, up with the Blossom, down with the Tempered Fate. Redemption does nothing in the end, but Duro cannot Magical Journey out. Busio unfortunately gets the kill, but hey, it's something for FlyQuest again.
Yeah, a little bit of an overstep in that situation. Duro, you know, trying to pick up the chimes. We've all been there. Does get punished for it, though. And they will be able to translate that into a top lane tower.
Masu, hang on.
Oh, man,
oi.
there's some damage.
Ruler's already got Trinity Force, double longsword in inventory too. Masu can say the same, but he's just not getting a moment to breathe. Canyon hovering around. Quad knows it as Ruler's able to step up. Seismic shove only on the minion wave. Helps clear as Keen makes the movement down, and GENG is looking for their second turret to open up mid this early, while Bwipo is looking for top.
Yeah, should be able to get this. So they are at least doing something, getting something on the map.
Yeah.
This red buff will be secured by Inspire, looking to recall out here, although he feels a bit nervous.
He wasn't
a lot of
spotted
GENG
out.
members on the top side should just be able to recall.
Ruler's not going to R him. I don't think they know he's there. They didn't, again, scry him out, so
Yeah.
they just see the red buff's gone, that's it. Inspired, trying to get what he can on the map. As you said earlier, he's the one with the CS lead, and he is the only one in this game right now that is significantly even with their counterpart taking out a support.
Yeah, I just feel like it feels so rough in this situation. You know, you're starting to see massive leads in the mid and top lane for GENG. They're looking now, though. TP flank coming in.
It is a big one, but the Magical Journey gets Canyon out. Keen is zoning out. That teleport not seen until Quad finally has his target onto Keen. Impale won't help out at all. The Between Worlds, no shutdown, or rather no kill. That doesn't come without one. It's a kill over to mid laner for FlyQuest. That opens up the potential of Herald.
It's a big shutdown, but a lot was invested. A lot of ultimates used there to get that kill. But looking at Herald, will GENG up to fight it? Chovy just recalled, his TP isn't quite available.
Canyon doesn't have ulti. He used it over the wall. So with that out, with the Between Worlds out, GENG, their zone control, marginally less. Good sidestep from Bwipo away from the Cosmic Binding. And the slow won't be enough because GENG don't have any damage alongside. Chovy's on the way in, but FlyQuest Tempered Fate, Bwipo, hang on a minute, stuck around a little bit too long as Canyon gets over and drives him right into Chovy. In a 1 versus 3, Bwipo just cannot burn quick enough. And Chovy with his kill with a good punish from GENG.
Yeah, a little bit of an overstay in the end there for FlyQuest, but they got the Herald, they got the kill. I think Chovy not having that teleport available was a little bit of a weakness of GENG there, not able to bring an extra member there to defend. And FlyQuest finding a good opportunity to punish, still showing some life in this game.
Just a little bit. That Herald might be able to open up mid, get themselves some much-needed gold in this game. Let's look at the replay the Orcs because this was us. This is how Bwipo got caught by Duro.
Yeah, just a good ult from Duro there. Knows there's no flash on the Rumble. And then see Inspire trying to stop the Skarner, but a bit later. Now Chovy in trouble.
He went for the push, but he's on to Quad. Now waiting. The flash. The ulti doesn't connect. Chovy out of range as he goes gold, and the rest of GENG coming in, but Quad almost times it right. Keen came in to save the day as Inspired is now left without a solo laner. He'll be taken down on top of it as well. Just wait for Keen to get his auto, his Q. He'll range it out for the double wall in the mid lane. GENG like, yo, let's fight somewhere else.
GENG winning everywhere on the map. Ruler looking for more.
It is Busio. He gets healed up. The real Nico's health bar at half HP. Masu jumps in. Ruler. Valkyrie's in. Onto Busio. Auto attacks and the barrier difference. Comes in clutch. Masu runs into melee. Gets the kill. It's messy, but FlyQuest are sending out Hail Marys everywhere.
And an ace at this point of the game with fights all over the map. GENG able to clean up 12 to 4 now in kills. Just when a little bit of hope had come in for FlyQuest, GENG shut it down.
They're really trying to send it. FlyQuest are like, yo, we've got to start something here with this comp, but it goes wrong top, it goes wrong mid, and it's going to go wrong with the third dragon. GENG are putting on a clinic, but I will say Orcs, there's a little bit of mess involved too, and I'm loving it.
We'll see how this one started off. It looked like it was a pick onto Bwipo again.
Oh, I love the sound of Gatling gun.
Yeah, Ruler just going aggressive here, and Bwipo is a little bit weak at this point of the game. The Redemption getting a lot of value too. Bwipo with an unfortunate flash. Good flash from Ruler, yeah. And then the minions kind of working against Masu there because he has to clear them out before he can even threaten.
I'm going crazy. The Gatling gun noise is always on. Make it stop. You're like, guys, please.
That's why they had to take him down. It's still going.
Oh my god. It's probably much worse for the audience. Thank you guys for sitting through it. Keen, though, finds an ulti, and we're fighting once again. Quad, though, caught between a wall. Tempered Fate, mega long range on the Massive. While they get the kill onto Quad, it's up to the next one. Massive slowed down with the Cosmic Binding. GENG won't find number 2. We get the Gatling gun start up again for your enjoyment, while GENG just find another kill and open themselves up to potentially a top gank, question mark. Here comes Inspired.
Trying to look potentially for Chovy, but Chovy already has a Zhonya's in pocket.
Did you kill him? I don't think he killed Chovy,
no,
right?
he has Zhonya's. He's already, he's realized that FlyQuest are just trying to pick him off the side, so... Wait, they're looking now for... He has Zhonya's. I don't think this is going to work.
Well, with Masu, maybe Chovy all in onto Busio, the ulti. Pop blossoms away. That's great, but Chovy now caught in the equalizer. He'll go golden with Ruler coming up to the support. Redemption not in time. The setup there from Inspired as well. Already one shot down, looking for another with a magical journey. Whippo doesn't chase up. Scared indeed, but now Quad with his ulti will show him up. With one kill again following up. FlyQuest are punishing GENG for their overstay in enemy jungle. They've done this once before. They're going to do it again, a double over to Quad, and here's Canyon finally, but a seismic shove away. Keen now coming in. Let's fight again. 21 kills in 20 minutes is not what I thought I would say in a GENG game.
And I guess Zhonya's wasn't enough to save him. You know, dashed in aggressively there to take out the Nico and didn't have a way to get out after the fact. Also, the Zhonya's came in pretty late, got cooked by the equalizer for a good amount of time, and now, I mean, this is the best time to look for the Atacant.
Yeah.
You have a numbers advantage. They're going to try and send it.
That's what I'm looking for Keen. Between worlds to walk on in. Quad with really good zone control right now, but Canyon can drive through the wall. He's coming a little bit early. The Ishtal's impact will find a target, and with the ulti as well, lockdown is Quad. He'll be the first to go, but GENG is still getting burnt down. They got the Atacant, that's what they came for, and they're going to exit with a kill. Onto Canyon, he goes crispy Scorpion, and Keen now so low he can't re-engage. FlyQuest have clawed back a bit of this gold.
GENG making error after error in this game, and FlyQuest able to claw back from a massive deficit. You know, they're still down in gold by about 2,500, but considering the state of the game prior to that play, they're in a great spot.
Yeah.
You know, we see this play coming in, and Canyon trying to look onto the side on the Quad here. They do blow him up, but so much damage done. Canyon starts to get shredded. The Atacant is picked up with that objective bounty. Cheeky attempted a snipe from Masu, doesn't find the target, but they'll take that.
Absolutely, they will. 3K is the only disadvantage right now. It was a lot larger only a short time ago. 1,200 the difference between mid laners. Yes, Chovy is still ahead, but Quad now has ways of shredding through with the Leandries, with the Seraphs. I think importantly as well, FlyQuest are using this fight to a lot more proactively. And as you said, Orcs, GENG, mistake after mistake, being punished well by Fly. The West here in game 1 at 22 minutes has another option. It will be now around Dragon to find a pick off, because that's going to be solved for GENG, and then things get difficult again.
Yeah, and you know, even given the fact, I will say, that they picked up Atacant, got a bunch of XP from that, Quad is still like a level down on Chovy, so...
Yep.
Not out of the woods yet. There's still like a 1,300 gold lead between mid laners. This is still very strong. But I will say, much better spot than they were in before.
Absolutely. And you know...
They're looking for the Azir again.
Yeah.
There's been a consistent theme. Looks like a recall from Inspired that's going to back away. In the meantime, GENG getting set up around this Dragon area. This is pretty deep vision. It's going to be hard for FlyQuest to contest this. There's only 35 seconds till it spawns, and there's nothing for them to work with in this area. So this might just be a call to give up the Cloud Soul. A little bit rough, you know. It's not a soul that's going to make the game unwinnable, but the extra movement speed definitely is going to make things feel worse.
It does suck a bit.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, we get a heli that comes through from Busio. GENG, they hold all the control in this jungle right now. They know if FlyQuest are moving in right now, Bwipo feels like the best chance, so they've got no vision in this tri-rush, and Bwipo can get set up. Teleport to start us off. Another heli. I wish I could stop saying that as Canyon goes through. Magical Journey now taken. Baron, rather Dragon, started off quite quick. Inspired, comes from a flank. He's the one who has to seal it out. The Weaver's Wall layered well as well. And then finding a pick onto Chovy, though. Duro saves his life. The Pop Blossom stands away. Driven nice, but Chovy's dead in the end anyway. GENG are getting burnt down as Massive Arcane shifts in, and Keen will ulti, but eventually FlyQuest get on top of the Dragon, take it away, survive with 4. An even trade for the team behind. A success story for those that fly.
They just push their way in. They look for Chovy, even with the Zhonya's, even with Flash, they're able to find him.
Coming in, looking for the burst. It was Keen who couldn't find Masu either. They've got mid-prior, but no one's really going to take it. Bwipo has standing gold in this bot turret. And the defense coming through from mid, thanks to Quad, is going to be fine. Ruler can't step up. Keen wants to auto, but Canyon can't come in. Massive win for FlyQuest in the end.
They're pulling off miracles in this game, and another one there. Now only 2,000 gold down. They've stopped the soul from being taken. They forced their way in here and inspired the Flash Q ult on a Chovy. By the time the ult comes in from Duro, it's so late and the CC follows. I don't even think he got a chance to use his own Zhonya's there.
Yeah.
Just great play from Inspired to catch out Chovy there. And then they're able to secure the Dragon. But you see Busio go down in the back end, but excellent play from the jungler from FlyQuest. 0 damage dealt by Chovy. It's not often you see that.
No, not on an Azir that's already accelerated. Hot damn. Well, GENG being tested, and you know, I feel like against FlyQuest, it has a similar feeling to it, but the game's not done yet. Canyon looking for a pick onto Busio in Pale. Is there, chilling Smite, and Busio, Protobelt's out of the way, Cycling Shove, what a punish. Canyon goes golden, but I think that may have secured his Warren. Inspired with the perfect Vault Breaker, and guess Canyon is no maker. Forward goes Masu, Arcane Shift, but Inspired does it again with the Weaver's Wall. Chovy's going to ult him back. Inspired will get caught. Chovy may have saved the play, but Pop Blossom, it's a 3-man! Busting again, Bwipo burning down. He's exhausted though, slowed down. Ruler spaces, flashes. What the? Quadra kill for Ruler. Quad left standing.
Only 1 man left at the end of that fight. Such a hectic back and forth. All members of the team doing everything they can to try and bring that back. FlyQuest end up the victors, but only just, and Quad will take a single mid-tier 1 as the prize. These teams are giving it their all to try and make this happen.
And Quad is going to eventually open this turret up, and gold will be even. I don't even know. Orcs, you're going to have to break this one down because that was just yakety sacks.
I mean, we saw this super clean play from Busio. He saves his flash and uses the rocket belt to dodge. And then able to have that flash later for the ultimate. Canyon, the ultimate from Duro buys time but doesn't save him. We then see this super aggressive play from Inspired. Because Chovy still has flash, because he didn't get a chance to use it from the previous fight, he's able to buy time here. We see this Keen go in aggressively, but this ult from Busio, just phenomenal. The flashy save from earlier getting so much value. Masu pushes forwards aggressively on such low HP. This last auto to finish Ruler, putting his life on the line to clean up the fight. And Quad, the last one alive. I mean, that was just so hype. Both 80 carries doing everything to finish off the fight.
Cheeky 5k from both. A little bit more from Masu. Arcane shift forward. Like, that's what you want to see out of any Ezreal who has the confidence in any fight. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're not done yet. Gold is just about even. Soul point comes up again for GENG in a minute 30.
And also just Busio, like using the rocket belt to dodge the ult, so you have the flash to make that play.
Yeah.
I think a lot of players would just flash, just like, I don't want to get ulted here and die, I'm just going to flash, but I just think that was sick. The fact he saved it, confidence in the moment, really paid off.
GENG haven't been able to rest on their laurels in this game. There's been mistakes, punished well. Fly now in a position of power. Those inspired setups, that Q on the timing from Duro's ulti. The ulti eventually hurts Chovy in the end anyway. Bwipo now, however, is caught out, and we go back to what has been a weakness this game for FlyQuest, is that Bwipo has been targeted again and again and again. Keen will take him out, and that's a pick. 50 seconds, how long's the timer there? Bwipo has TP.
Yeah, it's not too bad, right? Because Bwipo's going to be up with TP when the dragon spawns. The problem is Baron. Can they stave this off? TP's coming in. GENG are saying it's go time. What can they do with him in the pit, though? It's a precarious spot to be in. The DPS is starting to come through.
And it's a 3-item Azir. That DPS goes down fast, and FlyQuest have to come in and start poking out. True Shot Barrage does a little whittling damage, but Ruler is the problem still. Close enough to full HP as Keen is zoning off. For FlyQuest, Stealing this would be a heroic effort, but a magical journey, or rather cosmic binding zones out there. It's the journey from Duro to zone out. Inspired will no longer have a chance, and the Baron goes into Genji's pants.
Another problem is we actually got some good poke from Genji. Oh no.
This is Duro ulti again. It's beautiful, isn't it? Quad impaled. A good seismic shove. Lucky to be alive for now, but Ruler ranges him to oblivion. Whippo's now come back alive. He's teleported in. Busio trying to turn it around. Equalizer not bad, but Canyon's taking all the damage. The re-ulti from Inspire, but even though it's a great pop blossom, Genji are healthy enough in their damage dealers. Ain't dying anytime soon. Game 1 has been hard work for this Korean squad, but in the end, their strengths lead them into success.
Now with the Baron in pocket, they might just look to try and push. There's only 2 members alive. Whippo isn't going to last much longer.
Phosphorus bomb, I don't know what it is. Ruler's tanking it up. Keen just ultis in the end. Turrets won't kill them, and Genji, with this Baron, are going to start taking turrets.
Yeah, I think death time is a little bit low. Ezreal's still up, but then they're going to be able to end right now, but going to be able to do some damage and get that soul. And it feels like FlyQuest did so much right for so long, but this last fight, unfortunately caught out here. Great ult coming in from Duro onto the immobile Talia with no flash. The ult comes through from Canyon, and they're not able to immediately kill the Talia, but just, it almost ends up worse because of that, because more and more people are trying to save team members. Inspired comes in to try and make it a fight. He ends up ulting, going down, and it's not that they aren't getting value from some of these ults, but just the damage isn't there, the follow-up isn't there, so you just end up losing more and more members.
It does feel like, one mistake, Genji really snapped down. Whippo dies in the end after a long play here, but
I think, if they just let the Baron go, stayed healthy, they could have possibly got set up around Dragon. So
and
how did
Massive
died?
Died to Ruler.
I don't know how that happened.
Oy, oy, oy.
Really unfortunate, because I think if they'd just given up, they took a lot of poke around the Baron, and that allowed Genji to play aggressive. If they've just set up around Dragon, waited for Whippo TP, they probably could have just got that and denied Soul. But now they're really deep in the hole. Masu now dead for a long time. Their base is going to get demolished on the back of this push.
Keen ulti doesn't hit anyone. That's something for FlyQuest, but he's in. Quad gets popped. Imagine if the ult did hit. This Canyon's going to help take down the inhibitor. Minions channeling in with Baron still up and available for the next 35 seconds. There's a couple of good pushes for Genji that might help them end game 1.
Yeah, they're taking Nexus turrets already. Wave coming in bot from Chovy. They're going to take another inhibitor at minimum. 10 seconds of Masu, and that might be what they need to go for the final fight for FlyQuest, because they don't have much time left.
Look at Chovy. The auto attack's only onto a clone for now. Inspired chunked out a little bit as well. Double minion wave coming in. One Nexus turret. Masu is just standing there taking it from Chovy. Equalizer, a defensive maneuver. Quad gets seismic shoved back, yes, but it's on to Canyon. The tank affected, but no one else. Flash away from Ruler, from Busio to get the pop blossom, but it matters not. Genji got tested, made some mistakes, but in the end, their hands did the talking. Game 1 succeeds, but boy, was it tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously Genji came in, managed to close the game out after a pretty tumultuous game. And I think for FlyQuest, yes, it's a loss, but considering how that game started, they showed a lot of resilience. And I think they should still be confident that they can answer back going forwards in the series, because considering they just went up against the MSI champions, that was not that clean from Genji. There was a lot of stumbling in that game, and I think if they hadn't gotten so far behind, they could have won that one.
Well, we'll find out if FlyQuest have something to say. It's a best of 3 elimination time, as FlyQuest are going to try and see what they can do in game 2. We're going to go to a short break. When we return, that's coming up.